So let's see how the video, let's see how it stacks up to the expectations. Let's see, is it on here? Developer Insights Warfronts. Okay. So it's right over here. So these are what the developers think about Warfronts and how they, you know.
How you doing? I'm Andrew Chambers. I'm a senior game designer on World of Warcraft.
And I'm Michael Bybee, a senior producer on World of Warcraft.
For the last little while, my team and I have been working on Warfronts, a
Ooh.
brand new feature coming in World of Warcraft, and we're here to talk to you about it today.
All right.
Warfronts is a 20-player PvE experience where you take
I like
your
how they
faction,
emphasize that.
Horde or Alliance, build up an army, and wreck the enemy base.
It's awesome. You come in on an airship, you all leap off and parachute down at the battle, capture a base, you take over resource locations like a lumber mill and an iron mine.
Sounds awesome.
Feed into your efforts to raise your base, capture the battlefield, fight next to this huge army, and inevitably siege and destroy the gates of the enemy base, then charge in and defeat the enemy commander.
Ooh.
So in a Warfront, I can earn lumber and iron, but what can I spend it on?
Well,
Good
one of
question.
the first things you're going to be building is your base. You know, your base is made up of a number of different buildings. You start with your town hall, and that gives you the ability to send peons out to collect iron. From there, you progress on to your barracks. Your barracks allows you to train things like, on the Alliance side, footmen and riflemen. And as you progress in taking different points and move through the Warfront, you also get access to the Armory. At the Armory, you can do all this research to improve your troops' weapons and armor. Cool thing is, like, when you actually do this,
any of that?
all their armor actually upgrades.
I
Right?
did.
Like, one of the guys on the team just went bonkers with, like, actually making all their armor upgrade visually.
They went bonkers.
Fantastic. You also get access to the Altar of Kings. It harkens really closely back to the Warcraft 3 days. As a player, you can go there, and just like at the Armory, you get to give your units more combat power. At the Altar of Kings, you get to give yourself combat power.
That's how he did it.
You'll get access to build the
That's
workshop.
how he fucking
and the
did
workshop
it.
is where you can build siege engines from.
Should have watched this
those
before.
siege engines do siege damage. The siege
They
damage
just don't
is what
move.
you use in order to destroy the gates of Argorak, the enemy base, and make your final assault.
We should talk about troops. You guys spent a lot of time just trying to figure out exactly which troops made the most sense, what did what to who. I remember getting polymorphed a lot during this time as we were trying out different things, and I think we ended up in a really great place. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the ones you like the most, how you think it's come together, and what players can expect from the troops in Warfronts?
Yeah, troops were a really interesting challenge.
Don't
like
expect
how you
anything.
present this battle combat element into the battlefield without negating a player's contribution, right? Like, we want to make sure that players still feel like they're able to use all their abilities and that they stand out. But the troops are this thing which give weight to the battle, right? They give volume to it. When you run up to an area and there's no troops fighting there, it feels very lonely because there's all these enemy troops there. Fortunately, we can have all these troops come up and then start charging over the hill behind you. So it was an interesting balance. We tried a number of different things to try and give troops meaning. One of those was whenever you get to a capture location, the enemy bosses have special abilities, which will prefer to target troops first. If there's no troops there, they'll target players, and they're pretty nasty. With Warfronts, we had this like unique experience where, or unique opportunity even, where we have so many units on the field. In fact, we even built this brand new like AI system. We call it the Battle Brain. And what it does is it allows units
It's not working.
In typical World of Warcraft, when there's a lot of units together, they all tend to just like hop on and try and attack one guy. We wanted to make sure that with all the units that we have on the battlefield, they don't just, you know, look really dumb. So what we did is we built this AI system where they spread out. So what you end up with is kind of like a scene from, you know, a large-scale movie where all these
just
units
say Lord
are
of the
like
Rings.
flooding out and attacking each other.
Just
on
say
this
it. I
large
mean, obviously
battlefield.
that's what you mean.
It's really cool.
You're out on the battlefield, you're fighting against other troops, but what else are you doing?
Nothing.
I mean,
You're cooking dinner because you're AFK.
So it's a large large experience. There's like 20 players, all the same faction fighting in this PvE experience. We wanted to make sure that everyone had a variety of different things that they could like engage in. Probably the first and foremost that most players will engage in is capturing locations. Across the battlefield, there are a number of key points, some somewhat more important than others, but all have value associated with them. By capturing those points, it allows your army to flood out, and it gives you a variety of other benefits. In order to capture those points, all of the locations have an enemy commander there, in addition to a boatload of other troops. So you need to go there, probably with a group, take out as much of the support as possible, and then engage in the commander. He presents somewhat of an interesting challenge. So when you beat him, the flag becomes
got the battle
capturable.
brain.
You click on your flag, you have to like channel for a little bit, hope that no one comes in and hits you, and then you take the point. When you do take the point, reinforcements flood in. Depending on the location, you might get actual benefits in your troop makeup. You know, you can have like footmen and riflemen and priests and knights, somewhat similar to that, like Warcraft 3. It's this great little throwback. It's nice. A number of what we call events spawn in the world that are randomized each and every time. So, for example, it'll be fighting, it'll be the standard kind of Warfront, and all of a sudden, Fosric shows up. He's this like giant elemental who's like patrolling the land. He's actually from Arathi, and if you go up and you manage to beat him, he'll do you a deed. He'll like say, hey, go attack Circle for me, or go like attack the gates of Stromgarde for me. It's actually this cool moment. Those are all random, so when players go in there, they'll have a different experience. So, Bipey, the whole point of the Warfront, seemingly thus far, is to get and take Valakor Pass so you can destroy the gates, right, of this enemy base. What's waiting on the other side?
If I'm Horde and I just captured Valakor Pass, I bring down the gates of Stromgarde, and there is an enemy commander waiting on the other side. Now, the Alliance commander could be Muradin, Turalian, or Daneth Trollbane making a comeback trying to reclaim Stromgarde for his people. Yeah. If I'm Horde, I actually have one of 3 commanders in my base, Lady Liadrin, Eitrig, or Rokan.
Each of the commanders has their own special troop associated with them. So
that's a cool weapon.
You know, for Muradin, it's the Ironforge Guard and these like Shadow Weavers.
That's cool.
With the gigantic dark iron golems that are rolling around when you're fighting Trollbane. Obviously, there's all the Stromgarde Spellweavers. When you're fighting Turalian, there's like light forged everything all over the place, paladins and some crazy stuff. It really presents a different landscape to the battle each time you do it. Each commander is a 20-person raid encounter. You know, it's not necessarily something that I think players are going to lose to a lot. I do think it's a great end capper to the experience.
What a fucking joke.
Battle for Azeroth has a ton of incredibly cool features in it, but Warfronts is something unlike anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited about it, obviously, but
I can tell.
I'm also really glad that we had the chance to chat with you guys today, share some of the history behind the feature, you know, talk about things we don't often get to talk about with you guys. I think this is a great opportunity, and I had a lot of fun. Thanks, and I look forward to playing Warfronts with you.
I have a question, dude.
What?
Where are the fucking, like, nerds? Like, where are the nerds developing the games? Like, every time they do a fucking interview for a developer, it's some, like, clean-shaven, fucking, you know, professional-looking motherfucker that, you know, he's just up there for PR reasons, right?
It's not just some fucking, like, disgusting, like, guy with a neck beard, and he's wearing this, like, look at these guys. Look at their what was it called? Remember the jeans are whiter?
Dad jeans.
Yeah, they're wearing dad jeans with like this dad shirt, you know? He looks like he's about to give you some advice on, you know, how to first talk to girls or something. Or like, you know, maybe get out in the backyard and throw around the old pigskin. You know, like, what is this, man?
I mean, when you look at someone like Lord Gaben, you can see and you can just look at him. This guy knows fucking games. He knows the system. Yeah. Right?
He knows.
But you look at these guys and it's like, oh yeah, we're developing new fucking systems and it's going to be a new landscape. But nobody gives a shit, dude. Warfronts are fucking mindless. It's collecting 2 resources and attributing them to like different things, and then killing NPCs. That's all it is. There's
you
no
can build
depth to
siege
it.
engines that don't move.
It's
But
a
did
fucking
you hear
joke.
Did you hear about Fozruk though?
Oh, whoa, dude! Holy shit!
It's a really cool encounter. They said so themselves.
Who cares?
I don't know, man. I don't even think they're excited about it, honestly.
Listen, Blizzard is tapped for ideas, man. They are fucking tapped. These guys show up for work and then clock out. They don't think about it anymore, dude. They show up, I'm done. After 8 hours, that's it. They're tapped.
I don't know, man. Look at that guy's face.
He could.
I don't.
Look at that fucking face, dude.
I mean,
it's just
does
so
that seem like somebody who's excited about Warfronts? I mean, like, not really. Not really, man. Like, let's be honest.
He could not be more apathetic about it.
No, he really couldn't. I think these guys are actually having it's like a challenge between each other. Like, who can care less?
It feels weird, man. It feels weird.
Who can care less? I don't know, man. It's just, oh man, I mean, like, how can they think that Warfronts right now are good in the state that they're in? I really just don't understand that. It seems like it's very clear that they're fucked up, and they're very clear. It's very clear. Even they admitted it. They're like, yeah, you know, the commanders are really cool, but they won't really pose a challenge to players. They just die. I mean, like, come on, like, what is that even supposed to be? I mean, like, where'd they say that?
Even the
Trollbane making a
fucking
comeback
boss in
at-
Isle of Conquest or whatever it is, that orc
Danath
boss.
Trollbane.
No. When you're doing Isle of Conquest, you get the gate down, you go attack that boss. What's his name?
Well, I know that the Alliance one is Danath Trollbane. The other one is Overlord.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Overlord something, right? But my
Yeah.
point is, like, at least that boss poses a threat, right? Like, every time he would do the slam, jump up and slam,
You knew he's gonna
kill.
watch
yeah,
out.
he's gonna kill like 2 or 3 people or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, Warfronts are just so fucking face roll. It's a joke. Like, this is their what do you call it? Like a not flagship, like the forefront idea for BFA was like Warfronts, right?
Well, I remember whenever it first came out, and I was like, oh my god, this sounds incredible. Like, this is so cool. And it just turned into being a AFK loot simulator. Just like every fucking thing else, man. That's what I don't like. You know what? Speaking of AFK loot simulator, do you want to come do like an LFR real quick and get the first 3 bosses down?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, yeah. I'm just like, I don't like.
So I did 2 of them, and that's how I feel. You did 1 of them. How do you feel?
I was trying to figure out how to get the achievements. Like, I mean, that's all I really, like, did I have fun? Did I enjoy myself doing this? Absolutely not. No. Yeah, I'm really not very happy about how Warfronts have turned out either. I think that they should do the same system that they have with, what do you call it? With Islands, where they have like heroic Warfronts you can queue into, then they'd have mythic Warfronts that would be like a lot harder, and then PvP ones. I mean, if it's so simple that they just have everything on a scaling system with the battle brain. Did you hear that? I can tell you what the battle brain is already. So what they're saying is they want each different mob to be focusing on different players. So that means that there is probably a quota that each of the NPCs has. I'm just guessing this. That there is a quota that if this one mob has more than 5 other NPCs on it, then it will just go to the next mob. I mean, it doesn't really seem like it's extremely complex. I mean, like, we just rolled over those mobs like it was nothing.
The only battle brain thing that I've noticed is that if you're trying to cap a flag,
Yeah.
or if you're trying to capture a base or whatever, then if an NPC is focusing on something else, when you get to like maybe 4 seconds left of capturing a flag, they will actually like target you instead and stop you.
So they're like 1,600 RBG players.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. I mean, that's good. Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, more high-end gameplay, right? Because they can obviously detect casts. So as soon as they see the cast is probably halfway through, they hit you.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, wow. Incredible.